Hello, Popcorn Junkies. How are we all? Obviously, with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you've got Disney and all of their iterations of the Marvel superheroes, and then you've got Sony, who do their own versions of Marvel stuff, which is principally the Spider-Man world, or the sort of Spider-Man area of the Marvel comics world, if you like. So obviously they've had all the success with the Spider-Man films, but they've also had some success with the spin-offs, Venom. They've also done Morbius, which was a bit of a horror story. And one of the new films in this sort of Spidey world, spider world of Sony Marvel, is Madam Web. And Madam Web is a film that stars Dakota Johnson. I've got a bit of time for Dakota Johnson. I mean, obviously she's been sort of hooked in or hung up to dry or sort of strapped up and, you know, sort of strapped down from her sort of connection with the 50 Shades of Grey film. But she's actually, I think she's a cracking actress who hasn't really quite found her project that has made her sort of sing and sort of really tested her. So I'm not necessarily suggesting this will do that, but she's the star of a new female-centric superhero film coming, as I say, from the Spider-Man world, if you like, of Marvel. So who does Dakota Johnson play? Dakota Johnson plays Cassandra Webb, or Madam Web, who, in the iterations of the comics, we've posted about this on our Instagram a while back, she was quite an aged kind of character who has sort of psychic abilities, to spider sensibilities and psychic abilities to kind of, you know, connect into. But as I remember her, she was a sort of clairvoyant, but she was sort of restricted with, not necessarily in a wheelchair, but was she in a sort of hospital chair, kind of lots of tubes coming out of her and all that kind of stuff, quite old. So I'm presuming Dakota Johnson isn't going for that. We're going to see in a minute in the teaser trailer. She's accompanied by Sydney Sweeney, who is playing Spider-Woman in this. And we also have Tahar Rahim. He of A Prophet, soon to be seen in Napoleon, cracking actor, and he's playing a character called Ezekiel Sims. Personally, I don't feel that Sony's iterations of Marvel, I mean, obviously they also look after Deadpool, which how can we ignore that? But I sometimes feel that the other iterations alongside, like Morbius, haven't really taken off. So, you know, could this be, and Venom, the second Venom film, didn't really do it for me. Kraven the Hunter, that's another one that's kind of not come out yet. Or has it come out yet? Or did it come out without any kind of fanfare? It looks ghastly. So let's hope that this trailer looks a little bit better. So this is Madam Web. I was getting a bit confused. I thought this was going to be Spider-Gwen. I thought Sydney Sweeney, who you'll know from Euphoria, she was also really good in that sort of docudrama-esque type thing called Reality, in which she played a sort of governmental whistleblower. So, you know, she's a great actress. She's an underrated actress because she plays, in Euphoria, I think she played ditzy, kind of dopey blonde, kind of hysterical girl really well, but I don't think she's that for sure.
What do you want from me? Why do you care for me? Why do you know?
Hey, come on, get your stuff. Let's go.
Let's try that again.
A week ago, I spent my life racing against time,
I'm gonna help you out today, okay?
trying to save people who were running out of it.
Jackie!
Until one moment changed everything.
Come on! Welcome back to the land of the living.
I don't understand what's happening. I've been having visions. I knew he was gonna die. I think I'm seeing the future.
New York City's a whole new level of crazy these days.
What do you want from me? What do you...
New York City's a whole new level of crazy these days.
This is an emergency. Get off the train.
That man's trying to kill you.
What?
Who are you? What is going on? I can see the future.
Oh, what the hell?
She didn't see that coming?
That's not how it works.
I've seen that man before.
So who is he?
Ezekiel Sims. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Wait, I recognize you. You live in my building.
You're the paramedic.
Yeah, you almost ran me over. You don't think this is weird? How we're all connected?
It's honestly like the least weird thing that's happened all day.
What do you want from me?
You have no idea what those girls are coming.
Why don't you want from me?
I think he can see into the future.
Why are you wondering?
He's trying to change what happens. Julia, get down!
Why aren't you scared of me? Why do you care for me?
Your future was almost so different.
Where do we go?
If you want to live, you have to trust me.
Get ready. Now!
You're showing off.
Maybe a little.
So it's nice to see Adam Scott in there too, from Severance. He's always a great addition. Okay, so first thought, if I'd been in control of this, I think I might have insisted that Cassandra Webb or Madam Webb remained the old lady. That felt resoundingly like a TV movie to me. Did it you? It didn't feel cinematic. Though obviously there's lots of smashing. It feels like the Marvel series you used to get away on chuckaway channels that weren't really the main Marvel shows on other channels that weren't really Disney Plus, but it was better Marvel series than cheap Marvel series. And it just feels like a cheap Marvel series. It sits totally alongside Craven and a little bit like the CGI with Venom. There's a problem with the kind of execution. I don't know whether what's happening over at Sony and Marvel is they're chucking all their effort into Spider-Man and all their effort into Deadpool. But I feel there has to be a counterintuitive thought, doesn't there, in everything that you do now. I think the audience has got so sophisticated and is expecting so much more from something. You can't just go for what someone is. So I think, in a weird way, I think maybe Madam Webb's thing would have been her oldness and her being plugged into a sort of wired up to a chair with all these kind of tubes and what have you coming out. I don't know if I'm imagining that's what she was like. I'm pretty sure I seem to remember seeing some image like that. So Dakota Johnson sort of walking around, she seemed a bit too benign. She felt like everyone's aunt or everyone's older sister. And then the younger girls, who obviously are going to be the clutch of, if not new Avengers, then new Spideys. You know, Sydney Sweeney in there. I mean, it's kind of obvious when you chuck a really large pair of what I call Hillary Clinton glasses onto someone's face that they're going to at some point take them off in that sort of Lois Lane fashion and go, oh my God, you're Spider-Woman. And is she Spider-Woman? Is that what she is? I mean, they're not making much of that. Why have they focused only on Madam Web, really? And again, then there's that other thing of if you're seeing the future, you know, you've slightly got that moment where she walks into the diner but doesn't walk into the diner. You've got the idea of, you know, in the Sherlock Holmes films where he'll predict it. But that's done very snappily and snazzily and stylistically. Something like that was done in the first Ant-Man film where they'd retell a bit of the story. It felt leaden. It didn't feel particularly exciting or innovatively done even. So it just felt like, okay, so she can see what maybe will happen. So how can she fall foul of anything if you can see everything that's coming? But that's where Tahir Rahim's character, he too can see into the future. So are they double-crossing, double-checking, checkmate, checkmate, checkmate into the future with each other? If they are, we need more than just a grey wig to make Tahar Rahim's character sing. Once again, in the middle of that, I really felt his sort of, you know, silver fox wig kind of got in the way. So, and again, Spidey with kind of spider legs coming out, and didn't see anything I haven't already seen. Felt it was mainly about sort of car crashes. Even the girly bits of them all kind of hanging out together, I was beginning to get sort of, what was that series on, not Euphoria, the opposite of Euphoria, that other one, Riverdale. It felt like Riverdale, but with someone from 50 Shades of Grey. And then, of course, plonk Billie Eilish. Felt a bit cynical. Then you plonk the Billie Eilish song over the top. I think you need invention, and not experimentation, but invention and adventure and innovation, I think, even in something like this. Don't you? I mean, that's why Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse was so good. The animation was so sort of challenging and new. I felt nothing new in that. And in fact, as I say, I think they should have kept her old and decrepit and clairvoyant and then made Sydney Sweeney the star. But maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know.